Starting over helped me realize who my real friends were. Hi, my name is Ruth, and I help women in their 30s and 40s plus rebuild and reinvent their lives. Welcome. If this is your first time here, sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. All right. So let me tell you something. Your girl is getting married, and at first I was really hesitant about inviting people to stuff. I know I used to have these home buying seminars, and it's like people never, like, whoever you think he's gonna come don't come and all this other stuff. But it's a wedding, baby. It's a wedding, okay? People been showing up to weddings, okay? Some of them don't. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take a chance, and I'm gonna just go ahead. I'm not close with everybody, but I'm just gonna go ahead and do the wedding, and not go ahead and double the numbers, right? Well, let me tell you something. Some people were showing out for your girl. You hear me? Showing out. Starting over made me realize that friendship is not who you celebrate the win with. Celebrate for friendship is really who is there for you when the chips are down. Who's there for you, who wants you to win, who's making sure that you get everything you deserve. Who is, even if they cannot support every single thing in time and money and energy, but they put a little idea and say, hey, don't forget this and don't do that. I mean, and do this and do that, and then it turns into something special. That's what friends do. It's not always about who spent a lot of money on you and your gifts or something like that. It's about who is going to be there and make sure that you are doing well. Don't mind me if I cry, because I lately I've been a crybaby because I just, and then I opened up my journal today, and God showed me, He was like, my last time that I journaled and spoke to God was right before I got engaged. I'm embarrassed about that because that's about 2, 3 months, and that's, I don't really go that long. But it was nice because I get to see all the promises come true. I was so giddy to get to my journal. I was like, what did God promise me that it was right about to happen? And sure enough, one of the things He said is, the people around you want you to win. And He said, I'm going to show you who your real friends are. And He did. And He did. And I got to look at my journal to see what else. But it was just so beautiful. It's like literally a couple days before I got engaged. And He was like, I'm going to show you who your friends are. And then I come back and I was like, God, you showed me who my friends were. So sometimes we go through seasons, okay? Um, May, June, July. Yeah, May, June, July. Like sometimes I'd be like, okay, a season really be like 3 months, you know? So yeah, that part right there. Starting over, man, I did not realize that I had these people around me the entire time. So that was kind of cool that they were always around, but I just couldn't see, the real, like, how deep their love was for me. Number one, a couple things I want to say. The wedding planning brought up anxiety. People were like, "Oh, don't get anxious, don't get anxious." I'm like, "For what, girl? Don't you know what I've been through? I've been through divorce. I've been through as a kid. I've been through a lot of stuff. You think a little wedding gonna rock my boat?" Oh, oh. Well, the week before the wedding, I mean, the whole time it was like up and down because I was just really going on a faith walk because when I had the money, um, we decided to wait, and then I hold some money. I was like, I got investments to make. Oh God, which did not pan out. So then this year comes around, and then I had to walk on the water this time. And God was like, "You trust me?" And I said, "I do." He came through, and He used people around me to help me understand what's up. Planning a wedding was beautiful, but emotionally overwhelming. I was excited at first, and every other time in my life, I've been always like, "Oh my gosh, I'm gonna plan a wedding." I didn't have to have a boyfriend. I just could just meet the guy. I would just be planning. I was already married and was like, I didn't get to plan my wedding. Let me just try again. And when the real time came, I didn't want to do none of that stuff. I was like, I don't want to watch not that video. I was like, everything's gonna cost me money. It was not fun, when the rabbit got the gun. So I had to like really come up, like it was more so creatively thinking of how I was gonna pull things off with the budget that I have. And it was just sometimes when anxiety overcame my excitement. Okay. And so on that actual day, I woke up like I kept waking up in the middle of the night. And that was like, okay, God, you want me to pray? So I'm like praying, and then there's a big attack. And then that day, I was like heavy, heavy, like, oh my gosh. I'm like literally, and I knew it was bad because normally I'd be like, oh, I got issues. I'll talk to somebody, and that's it, right? Or not even really praying about. I pray about it. I went to the Bible. I went to the Bible. I went to prayer rant. I went to like heavy hitting stuff to help me with what I was going through, and I did not like talk to anybody about it. And that's how I knew I was going through heavy warfare. And then I had to say, you know what? I heard God tell me to tell my friends to pray for me, and they did. My second point is that my friends prayed for me, and they talked to me, and I did ask them for prayer, and it was so cute because it was two of them that I was like, "You got time? You got time?" And it's like, "I'm about to be done right now. I'm about to be done right now." So they both called me back at the same time, and we ended. I was like, "Can we do a conference call?" They talked to me, and it was like showing me like you already had so much done already, so you'll be fine. And like I'm just having a crisis, and I'm just like, then I'm like coming to realizations because I had to make big decisions about people that were just trying to jerk my chain or whatever. And I was just trying to like it was just so many big decisions to make in like one little shot. And then it was my first day not working after like 2 years going hard. And it just all hit me at one time. And I just was like almost paralyzed. Like I couldn't move, I couldn't function, I couldn't think, all these things. And I was just like, what is going on? And then they prayed for me. And right before they prayed for me though, whatever I put on this video, some of these interviews that we watch your algorithm, okay? It might come through for you like it came for me, okay? One of these the things that they talk about deliverance and things like that. He was just talking about deliverance. It was not one of those like I was watching deliverance things, but it's something that popped up that I was watching. And as soon as he talked, I felt something leave, and I felt lighter. And then I got on the phone with the girls. I was like, "Can you pray for me?" And then there, they was talking to me. The logic. God was working through the logic. God was working through the emotions. God was working through the prayer. She prayed it down that day. Shout out to Jasmine. She prayed for me, and it was amazing. And I felt better. I felt supported, and I carried on. And so that was really, really helpful for me. Real friendship is not about always having perfect words. It was them asking me questions, like re- run your mind, rewind, and what did God do before type of questions. But it was like a really nice vibe because it was like when you have Christian friends, it's a different outcome, a different situation, a different vibe. And so I really, really appreciate having Christian friends that I could call and talk to, and I was close with, and they understood me, and I understood them. Also, my one of my friends, um, they threw me a last like a things were not going that as planned, and they threw me like a they tried to throw me a wedding shower, and then that wasn't going well, and then I gave it to somebody that I felt like was capable of doing it, and you know the other person was capable, but it just wasn't working out. Um, and she just knocked it out the park. And I gave a couple of my friends like to say I have a couple of friends is kind of hard for me to say because like I've been with like zero or one, and to say I have a couple now and I know they have my back is a blessing because I was just thinking about and praying about that guy. What about my group of friends and this and that and the third, and then he gave it to me, so I was like, okay, that is beautiful. So it was like a lot of stuff going on, crazy things going on. My makeup artist got was in another city, and the day of the wedding, and I found out, and I did like I still had things that I had to do. We were decorating to the last minute. Um, it was a lot going on, and then I didn't have a bouquet. I was running out of time, and I called a friend. I was like, "Can you give me a bouquet?" And she was like, "Okay," because she called and she checked on me, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I gotta start checking on people because they were checking on me, and it was the wedding day, and people were sending me messages, and I just felt like sometimes you feel alone because it's like your problem and your thing and your event and your family and your bills and your stuff, and then it's just like I'm not alone. I have moral support, and sometimes moral support is much more than financial support, and then financial support is just another step past it, and then you actually go out your way to make sure yeah I'm good is awesome. And then so when I saw the bouquet, I was like, this looks better than I thought. It's amazing. And so I just was not embarrassed, and I was like, I'm not gonna have nothing to put in my hand. The girls' bouquets were not done. As soon as I got there, they took the box, they finished it. I mean, they came through. They came through on the bachelorette party. They came through on the wedding party. All of these things, because mind you, the 60-day planning session. So they were around me the whole time. They were around me the whole time. Some of them were quiet support. Some of them were loud support. Some of them were screaming, "Kiss her again" at the wedding. And this, like, one of my girlfriends was like, "You have a great group of women around you. Hold on tight to them," you know. And then there was some people that they came through and then they kind of backed away. They kind of one foot in, one foot out. Those people that could not stand me, still want to come around, but could not stand me. So God made me see starting over is deepening my circle, helping my circle, and I'm glad to see who my real friends are. So my question is, when you look back on your hardest season, who truly came through for you, and have you taken the time to tell them how much your friendship meant? Comment below. Thank you guys for watching. Talk to you later. Bye.